AK, you made this?
What's up with everybody, man? I'm your host, Dubb, you sparking up with Vansnweed. And today, man, I got my boy 1100 himself, man. You feel me? What's going on, man? How you doing, man? I know you're rolling, man. You feel me? How you doing today, man? How y'all doing?
So we're just chilling, fucking around.
For sure, for sure. So, man, to start it off, man, can you, tell us a little bit about your upbringing, man? And,
Usually I be saying that shit like any other hood, you feel me? Like, you feel me? Just like any other nigga. But that nigga Mitch don't be liking when I say that shit, so I don't know. I be feeling like this shit was set in stone for real. I be feeling like, you feel me, nigga had to make something shape. One of these options
for sure.
Feel me? Somebody gotta be something.
For sure. So what would you say, like, as far as like where you come from, Oakland being like, a big city in the Bay Area, you feel me? It's a lot of artists coming out of there right now. What makes it different or unique to come from that city, you feel me?
I feel like when you're from Oakland, you just gotta go a little bit harder for your shit. It's gonna take a little bit longer, you feel me? Niggas don't be doing no dick riding or, you feel me? They ain't got no big on me to spoil them or nothing, so it might take you a little longer. You just gotta stay down though.
For sure, for sure. What was a couple artists, you feel me, that like inspired you or that you, grew up listening, like,
I ain't gonna lie. I be listening to hella shit, like nigga from Chief Keef, Tyler the Creator, all hella shit.
For
just
sure.
You feel me, a wide ass genre.
Okay, so you could get like pretty much versatile, like with your
sure.
style and shit. Okay. So like, as far as like just growing up, period, like what was Miles playing around the crib, or
She was playing
on the way to school,
shit, like, hella shit. I ain't gonna lie. I remember she had the little Tyrese album. She was playing Tyrese album like a motherfucker. And then I used to stay with my grandma a little bit too. She was off R. Kelly album and shit. So you feel me?
For sure.
Just hella shit. It's a whole bunch of shit though, for sure.
So like, what artists you say kind of influenced your sound today?
Right now, I don't know. I listen to a lot of people, so I just take a little piece from, you feel me? Take a little piece from everybody, but still try to remain original.
Okay. So like, when you was going to school back in the day, like, what was, like, how was it, like,
That shit was cool. I mean, I got kicked out of Oakland public schools. I didn't get to come back until 8th grade, so you feel me? As soon as they let me back, I was having fun and shit, like, you feel me? I was going to little boosie-ass schools doing stupid shit.
For sure.
So as soon as they let a nigga back, I was cool, though.
For sure. Would you say, like, kind of going to different schools and shit like that kind of helped you connect with different people?
No, for sure. That shit helped me look at shit differently. You feel me? I was surrounded by a lot of white motherfuckers. I'm trying to figure out how these niggas think. You feel me? Let me try to pick my brain on a different level.
Facts. And, the Bay Area pretty diverse,
No, for sure.
Facts. So, like, 1100 himself, man, like, how can you describe your sound and, you feel me, what did you say, like, how you came up with your name, like, what inspired it?
Right.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. What, about my name?
Tell the truth.
Nigga, I feel like, this nigga went to jail for a little minute and shit. At first my name was just KO, you feel me? But then I'm like, I don't want that to be my rap name. That shit sound boosy. Like, nigga ain't gonna really click there. Like, what's something that's gonna make a nigga click? And I'm like, okay, I'm from 1100 and everybody else from 1300 though. You feel me? Everybody else from 13. I'm like, damn, what's gonna separate me? I'm like, I could call myself 1100 KO, but that's kind of boosy to me too. I'm like, damn, I want to be like 1100, the one and only 1100. I want to be like, you feel me, like 1100 himself, the official, you feel me? So I'm like, we're going to see what that shit say. We're going to see what that shit go like. Start putting 1100 himself on some shit. At first that shit was like, it was looking dumb and it didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this shit don't make no sense, but I just kept it lit. You feel me? And eventually that shit started making sense.
Yeah, it became unique. It became,
sure.
You feel me? Okay.
I called him from jail. I said, who is 1100 himself? He about, that's me. I said, what?
Said, okay, so you found out just like,
yeah, I'm like, man, who?
They said, oh, he going crazy right now.
Man, I'm like, man, my little brother famous. They like, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, shit.
So like, let's talk Mitchell, man. How'd y'all link up and like, what's the chemistry like in the studio, man?
That nigga Mitchell, that's a different type of demon. I ain't gonna lie, that nigga. that nigga introduced me to some shit. Like, I used to just be fucking around, like, you feel me? If I was making some music, I would just be making some shit, like, just for me, you feel me? But, and then when I got with the nigga Mitch, he had a different demeanor about his shit. Like, he came to me, he like, bro, I see something in you, you feel me? I see something in you, if you give me a little bit of your time, we can make it up out this motherfucker.
For sure,
I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I gave a nigga, he like, just give me a year. So I get a nigga 6 months, right? It only take the nigga 6 months, and then next thing you know, we getting a little deal and shit. So shit like that, you feel me? That nigga was just already equipped, and he came to me, you know, basically. So I just needed that at that time, for sure.
You would say, like, kind of like a mentor.
Yeah, for sure. And motherfuckers be like, damn, y'all niggas, motherfuckers always be like, hey, that nigga ain't that older than you. How is that nigga your mentor? I'm like, you just gotta be around the nigga to know him.
You know, everybody really need that.
It don't really matter about the nigga, the nigga wise man.
Facts.
A very wise man.
I ain't gonna lie, so.
Like, that nigga told me he live in dog years.
For sure. So, like, when you in the studio, like, what would you say is like a ritual for you to, you know, get it going, or, you know?
At first, I used to try to, like, you feel me? Because me and my nigga Tete, we used to make songs back in the day. We used to try to get high as we could, because we like, the higher we are, that's the better music we gonna make. Like, you feel me?
Sure.
I tried to start doing that shit at Mitchell House, but like, nigga, I couldn't gather myself, because I was getting high to the neck, because he wasn't getting that high with me. He wasn't pouring up or nothing with me. So I'm pouring up to the neck, and this nigga making me smoke all my blunts to the neck and shit that I ain't used to. So I'm up in that motherfucker, like, really about to pass out. I'm like, nigga, I gotta get my breathing and everything right.
For sure,
you feel me? I used to go in that motherfucker, try to record some short ass verses. He like, nah, bro, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going a little bit.
So you say like you a writer or like a more punch in kind of artist?
Shit, I be writing most of my shit, but that nigga be punching in and shit. He be trying to teach me how to punch in on most, you feel me, on different occasions when we need the time.
For sure. So I ain't gonna lie, man, the storytelling, man, like the way you feel me, you really like, you give them the detail, and then you know, you really give them like something to kind of picture, you feel me? How would you say like you came up with that type of style, or is it just?
I made a song called Storytelling. I tried to tell like a vivid story, but I just felt like I just told a quick ass story, and it got actually to the action hella fast, and it was just like, you feel me, some put together shit. And then one day we was in the studio, we was just freestyling and shit. We was rapping about some shit that happened, like some police shit, and like some police getting behind us and shit. I'm like, bro, we gotta really make this shit a song or something, you feel me? So we really made that motherfucker a song, and motherfucker was actually fucking with that shit. So we just we kept that shit lit for the fans though. We been wanted to stop after we made the first one, you feel me? But the fans was like, man, we need to know what happened next. So we boosted that motherfucker like 4-5 parts.
For sure. So would you say that style is kind of one of your favorite styles right now?
That's one of the fans' favorite styles, for real. Me and Mitch be trying to branch off from that shit just to show motherfuckers that we able to, you feel me, make other shit. Don't want to be caught up in a bracket till they be like, oh, this nigga can only, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure. What would you say as far as just like your city alone, what does it need to get to the next level? Because, you know, it's a lot of artists from your city that have been, you know, on a national scale, you feel me? And, you know, they're signed to major labels and stuff like that. What do you feel like somebody coming from where you come from, just, you know, how can you build that? Like, how can you get to where you want to get to?
I feel like you really got to believe in yourself first. You feel me? If you don't think you that nigga, ain't nobody else gonna think you that nigga. I was dropping on SoundCloud, you feel me? Before I even made a SoundCloud, I was dropping on YouTube, and I'm like, bro, I know my music good. Why the fuck am I only getting 161 views in a year? I said, nigga, a year went by, this motherfucker still only got 100 views. I said, something wrong with this shit. My nigga tell me, like, you gotta make a SoundCloud. They pay attention to your music more. I'm like, okay. I make a SoundCloud, that motherfucker do a band hella fast. I'm like, I ain't did no band yet, so I start dropping on SoundCloud. Even though a band not a lot, I'm like, nigga, I got a band. Like, you feel me? This is more than what I'm used to.
I feel like them type of views is real authentic too. Vice versa, you getting like 1 million in one day or some shit like that. You feel me? Like 1,000. That means 1,000 people clicked in and actually listened to your shit.
And after you just posted the link, you feel me? And it was to the point where I was only specifically dropping exclusively to SoundCloud. Just so I could see that a motherfucker would have to go specifically to go to SoundCloud to listen to my music, see how many motherfuckers I can introduce to this platform that don't even know nothing about it, you feel me?
For sure. So like transitioning from, like you said, SoundCloud to Thizzler, bro, like you and Mitchell, y'all, oh shit, I have to make that phone call.
I just dropped something, man.
Nah, y'all, you know, y'all on the Thizzler Cypher, and you feel me, y'all dropping, you know, back to back, like, I see, you know, they really supporting y'all and shit like that,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
what is it like, you know, being on that platform and, you know, being tapped in with a big platform like that?
I don't know, like, when you from the funk and shit like Oakland, motherfuckers know about Thizzler, you feel me? You want to get on Thizzler, like, that's like a little goal of yours, like, when niggas was coming up, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. When niggas was coming up, they wanted to be on Thizzler as a young nigga. Like, if you wanted to rap as you was young, you wanted to be on Thizzler when you got older, or you wanted to be on Thizzler eventually, you feel me?
For sure, for sure.
So, and shit, so when I finally, they was doing these little freestyle lives and shit. Like, they do little lives and shit every Wednesday, Friday, or whatever
like
day.
a challenge?
So, one day I remember I got on that motherfucker and I told all my fans, this when I was still on SoundCloud, only getting like little thousands and shit. So I told all my fans, I'm like, spam my name in the comments, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Spam my name in the comments for me and see if this nigga gonna add me. I'm like, you feel me? Spam my name in the comments, we gonna see if this nigga add me. He never added me though. I'm like, fuck. He never added me, right? So I'm mad as fuck. I'm talking about hella motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Hella motherfuckers just sitting there, you feel me, spamming my name and shit.
So you had to really like, you had to really put in the work for real. I ain't gonna lie, the service kind of a little bit janky. But yeah, you had to really put in the work for as far as like getting your name out there.
Yeah, so they spamming my name and shit. The nigga still don't add me. I'm mad as fuck. Me and Mitch looking at each other like, damn, like nigga, we all seen the comments of the nigga spamming my name and shit, right?
It's like getting cut from the basketball team.
Right, the nigga still didn't add me, and then they ended the live. I'm like, fuck. One day I'm just chilling at the crib. I'm off the juice and everything. I ain't even really prepared to rap on that motherfucker, right?
For sure.
I'm like, man, that nigga got me fucked up for how he did me last time. Let me get on this motherfucker again. I request. I just set my phone up. I'm like, this nigga gonna add me this time because he got me fucked up. You feel me? I'm low-key mad and shit. I'm like, this nigga gonna add me this time. He got me fucked up.
Yeah,
nigga, I see the little circle start going around and so I said, oh shit, they added me. My little heart start beating and shit. I'm like, okay. He added me. He like, yeah, man, you came highly requested. I'm like, fuck. So he said I came highly requested. Nigga, why the fuck you ain't add me? Why you ain't being at me, right? He like, you came highly requested. What you got for us? I rap on that motherfucker. I end up winning. One of the weeks. So they post me on their page like, yeah, he wanted to win or something. I'm like, okay, cool. Little people start knowing about me at this time. They still don't really. They still sleep. That was it though. I ain't really had I ain't had nothing else, no ties to him or nothing, right?
For sure, for sure.
I start fucking with the nigga Mitch. He not saying he finna get us a deal to Thizzler. He just saying that nigga he feel like we can get a deal off this shit. So like, you feel me? I'm like, man, I'm like, okay, whatever. We can get a deal. I'm gonna believe what you believe and we gonna see if we can get a deal. So we end up getting a deal. The nigga, he called me, he like, yeah, they just sent me the contract. I'm thinking the nigga lying, like, you feel me? I'm thinking the nigga lying. I'm like, man, bullshit you talking about. This nigga ain't sent you no contract, you feel me? Nigga sent me, the nigga who sent him the contract sent me the contract too. I said, okay, so this shit real for real, right?
For sure, for sure.
Damn. So we come out with the setup. Then they're like, bro, this shit hard, bro. We ain't never heard nothing like this shit before. Y'all niggas storytelling. So we just kept that shit lit.
I feel like that's how the Bay Area pretty started. Like, you know, you got the Too Short shit. He came from, you know, he came from Oakland, man. He got that, you know, the ghetto. Like, that's, you feel me? That's storytelling in a way, you feel me? So I feel like you bringing that dynamic back to the Bay Area for just like, you know, painting a picture, you know. There's not too many people, you know, telling, like, really like being creative as far as in that dynamic for real nowadays. So I salute you for that shit, man, keeping that shit rocking.
For sure.
So like as far as like just the process within life, man, and getting to the next step, man, within your creativity, how would you say like life influenced your music?
I feel like, nigga, everything you go through, that shit, it come out in your music whether you know it or not. Like, you feel me? A nigga would say, oh, I'm just rapping about anything, or I just was freestyling. Like, nah, nigga, this some shit that you saw in your life, or you just went through something with your bitch this morning to the point where, nigga, you had to rap about that shit. You had to get that off your chest, or you feel me? You said that at that moment. So, you feel me? Niggas be saying it's just freestyling or whatever, but it really be a motherfucking life.
For sure, man. So you say, you feel me, it's better, you really coming from the heart, right, versus just wanting to just do this for just, you know, a little bit of fame or, you know,
No, for sure.
a little record deal, you feel me, just really like a passion for real.
No, for
So,
sure.
you know, okay. So like as far as your next step, any projects, any, you know, have you did any shows yet?
Yeah, me and Miss be doing hella shows. We just did a show in Santa Cruz. That motherfucker was bopping
yeah,
so
Santa
hard. I
Cruz.
didn't know they be turned up like that out there. That
They be
motherfucker was
lit.
actually turned, yeah.
Maybe lit.
That motherfucker was lit, and they knew who he was and shit, and they knew the words and shit, so that was cool.
For sure. Which I was at the what's that venue called? Not the Catalyst. I think it's like the one.
I think that's what the one we was
Catalyst?
at. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Catalyst returned.
That motherfucker was
Catalyst
turned up.
returned. For sure. So like performing in Santa Cruz, man, like how was that? Like
That shit was
even
cool.
your first time performing, man, how did you feel?
That
You
shit
feel
was
me?
cool compared to my first
Was
time
you a little
performing.
nervous?
Hell yeah. I remember my
For sure.
first time performing back in the day. Me and my nigga Big 35, we used to do these little cheap shows, after shows and shit. You get to, they send you however many tickets and however many people come, you can make money and shit. You do them in San Francisco sometime, in San Rafael and all these different
Yeah.
places and shit. So,
For sure, for sure.
shit like that.
Man, I'm gonna have to, you feel me, tap in with one of the shows,
sure.
man. So like nowadays, man, getting the views and, you feel me, building the fan base that you got, how does it feel to like be supported and be heard, you feel me? Vice versa from when you first started.
When I first started, I felt like, nigga, I just wanted a motherfucker to hear my shit like that. All you needed, I just need, you feel me, one motherfucker to hear my shit, or I just need a certain motherfucker to hear my shit. And I ain't know who it was. And shit, I guess it was that nigga Mitch, because he like, nigga, I feel you, nigga. Like, nigga, you bringing me back to you giving me this, you feel me? You giving me this feeling and shit, like, I feel you on the shit that you talking about.
For sure. So
like, okay.
would you say y'all like the dynamic duo for real?
No,
like,
for sure. We don't even really be liking to be a duo sometime, but it's like motherfuckers like us together on a lot of shit.
Okay, okay.
Motherfuckers like us together on
For
a lot of
sure.
shit, so we keep that shit lit
Could we
sometimes.
expect like, you know, a little collab project or something?
No, for sure. We just dropped some shit. We just dropped some shit called Two-Headed Goat.
Okay.
We dropped a tape called Two-Headed Goat, and
Yeah, man. I see y'all been going crazy, man.
No,
You
for
feel
sure.
me? So like, as far as your style, man, like your clothing and you
No, for
feel
sure.
me, just your swag, period, man. What would you say, like, how can you describe it in one word, or what would you say how you got influenced with how you rock today, man?
I don't know. I feel like as a young nigga, I wasn't able to have shit. Like, I wasn't having the shit that the cooler niggas was having. Like, you feel me? It was niggas that, you feel me? You know, the niggas that was, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I ain't gonna say them niggas was on the basketball team or whatever they was, but them niggas was cooler than you, and them niggas had better clothes than you. You feel me? I was never the sauciest nigga out the group. I just felt like I had the sauciest mindset. And I just knew if I was able to have the same, motherfucking fucking materials as these niggas, I would do that shit better.
Facts.
So when I finally got able to start having shit, I just started overdoing it. You feel me? Like, you feel me? Because the nigga ain't never had nothing before.
Yeah, bro, you gotta have it.
No, for
Facts.
sure.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like even like you said, back when you didn't have it, kind of forced you to gain the gift of gab.
No, for sure. You're like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah,
like,
you
y'all
gotta-
niggas got, I wasn't the
gotta
nigga that
use
be like,
your
man,
mind.
these bitch ass niggas doing better than me. But it's like, okay, y'all
Yeah.
niggas make me want to get on my shit.
For sure, for sure.
That shit make me want to get my shit.
For sure. So like, how's important like to stay versatile and, you know, think outside the box?
I feel like it's easy to get boxed in. It's easy to get boxed in because, nigga, you might have a certain amount of you might have a certain fan base, or like, nigga, just like Thizzler, you feel me? Thizzler, they fan base as a whole is mostly, they like that gun talk and they like this and that on that motherfucker. So when I got on that motherfucker, my first song, I feel like I dropped to the neck. I think it was Let Me Down for Real. I just got on that motherfucker. I'm like, you let me down for real.
Yeah.
You let me down for real. And that ain't nothing that they used to. But I'm like, put that motherfucker on there anyway, because I want these niggas to know that, nigga, I could do this other shit, but, nigga, this is the shit that I really like to do. You feel me?
Do you
So,
feel like people kind of be a little afraid, like different artists? Like,
No, for sure. I
they
know
be a little
it's a
afraid to
lot of
think outside
motherfuckers
the
out there
box
that
like
got
that?
some. I know it's a lot of motherfuckers that be rapping about that shit that got better versatility, that can show their talent in other manners, but they just be afraid to, or something. You feel me? Worry about what the next motherfucker is saying.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of artists, like, they probably they probably try to stay away from using auto-tune
No, for sure.
like singing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like how people used to say, well, like Drake sing all the time. Now everybody singing kind of pretty much. So it's like, you know, different styles and stuff like that. I feel like, oh no, it really don't matter nowadays. It's just you gotta make good music. You
No, for
feel
sure.
me? But as far as like when you in the studio, man, like what do you like like when you writing and shit, like you feel me? What do you kind of like? What's your process like? What you kind of be thinking about, man? Like
I be trying to like, I don't know, cause now I'm like, you feel me? I'm saucier than what I was back in the day.
Yeah.
So when I be rapping, I be trying to be like, you feel me, saying all this and that. But I be trying to go back to when a nigga wasn't having this shit, so you could really feel the progression in this shit. Like try to rap about some shit that you feel me before, or put myself in my shoes, who I used to be, and then let me rap like I would rap back in the day.
yeah. So would you say you more like a lyricist?
No, for sure.
For sure, for sure. I
Yes.
say that that's what it is too. Like as far as the storytelling, like you gotta be on a lyricist type, like you know, like New York
No, for
kind of.
sure.
You feel
Yeah.
me? Bringing them bars back to back to back punchlines, you know. So you feel me? I feel like that's what's in right now, man. But the infamous question, man, what y'all smoking on today, man?
Shit. I think. I
That's
forgot. I bought this
gas.
off my nigga Triz. I think he said he got some cookie right now.
Okay, okay.
Some blues.
You feel me?
Need to be smoking.
Some regular, some regular.
Yeah, just some little shit though.
For sure. So when you, like your first time, man, getting high, what was it like? This is a question for both of y'all. man.
Shit. I remember when I used to get high like as a young nigga, like dumbass young. Like I swear to God, like I used to get on the yellow bus to school. Before I got on the yellow bus, I would get high in the morning with my stepdad and shit, right? So we would get high, but I stopped smoking because my mama caught me smoking as a young nigga, so I had to stop smoking for hella long. I come to the phone. It's the nigga named Ebo, but they calling him Eric at the time. You feel me? They like Eric. I'm like, man, who is this nigga Eric that everybody keep talking about? He smoked the most weed around this motherfucking. If you want to smoke some weed, you gotta smoke with this nigga. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna meet this nigga because I told you I'm still kicked out of Oakland Public Schools until the 8th grade. So I come back at the 8th grade. I'm like, yeah, let me meet this nigga or whatever. I meet the nigga. He's smoking blunts to the face, but he like hella short and he like a young nigga. I'm like, man, what the fuck is this nigga smoking all his weed to the face? Like, who is this nigga? Nigga like, my name E, bro. I'm like, oh, so you the nigga that they was telling me, like, you the nigga. I'm like, E. I'm like, what the fuck E? I'm like, okay, that's Eric. Damn. So yeah, he roll up a blunt, smoke that motherfucker in my face. I'm like, damn, I really don't smoke no more, but this nigga just smoked the whole blunt in my face. I said, bro, I'm gonna smoke all day with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cause I can't smoke right now. My mama be tripping and shit. I'm gonna smoke all day with you tomorrow. So came the next day, and the shit, we was just been getting high as dog shit.
Shit, so now since you've been smoking, man, from since then and now, man, what's your favorite strand?
Right now, shit, I fuck with peanut butter breath, and I fuck with Grandalio.
Oh yeah,
I fuck with Grandalio. I fuck with Pac-Mans. I fuck with what's that shit? Gerber baby, all that shit. You feel me?
Okay.
DC Lotto, you feel me? All that shit.
Exotics, man.
No, for
Exotics, man. For sure. So like, what's a famous stoner you think you can outsmoke?
Shit, I don't know. I want to get high. I want to get high with that nigga Seth Rogen and just see what the
Seth
fuck that
Rogen?
nigga got, you feel me, in store.
know,
I
that's
just want to talk to
different,
that
that's
nigga like,
different.
you
Yeah,
feel me? Because
okay.
he be saying, he be getting high. Like, if you watch Pineapple Express and all that shit, that nigga really be getting high.
Yeah, for sure.
I seen that nigga smoking with, he was smoking with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg one time. I said, yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta smoke with that nigga just to see.
For
You
sure.
feel me? Like, you feel me?
And he a comedian too.
No, for
so
sure,
you feel
yeah.
me? That's why I say it's best to smoke with like a comedian,
Yeah.
for real. Right versus smoking with another artist. It's gonna be like another day
No,
in the
for
studio.
sure, yeah.
You feel me? But shit, I mean, your first time smoking was already a crazy story, pretty
Hell
much.
yeah, for sure.
But what's another like a funny story? You feel me? You feel?
The club. We're not.
We ain't gonna speak on that. We ain't gonna speak on that. But shit, recently I just started fucking around with the shrooms and shit. You feel me? So I start fucking around with the shrooms. Usually I just be taking like a little gram,
Yeah.
a little 2 grams or something. But I ate the chocolate. The chocolate bar itself is an 1/8. You feel me? I ain't eat the whole bar, but I ate like 2-3 squares of that motherfucker. I ate like 2-3 squares of the bar or whatever. You feel me? And then I ate some raw mushrooms too. I think them motherfuckers called like penis envy or some shit. I eat them motherfuckers, nigga, and I'm trying to go to sleep because I feel my body getting too high now. But it's like, nigga, I can't go to sleep. Them motherfuckers is forcing me to stay awake. I'm like, I'm trying to get in the shower. I get in the bathtub with all my clothes on, right? And I'm just sitting in that motherfucker. Ain't no water running and nothing. I'm just trying to gather my breath. I'm breathing all funny and shit. Motherfuckers beating my ass. I can't eat no whole F no more. I'm only gonna eat the little gram, little 2 grams. I ain't gonna eat no F no more.
Took them, but I heard that shit.
Nigga, I ain't gonna eat no F no more for sure not.
Sheesh.
Damn.
You was on the move. That man was on the move. Alright, so what's your favorite stoner movie, man?
I fuck with How High. That's me and my nigga
How
shit.
High?
If you from the funk, you know about that How High. We used to watch that all day at my shit. We'd watch that motherfucker back and forth. We'd watch Mac and Devin go to high school too. Mac and Devin go to high school in How High. That's, you feel me?
For sure. Okay.
Them 2 movies cool as fuck off the weed though.
Yeah, them classics. Them classics. So papers, woods, or bombs?
I'm fucking with the loose leaves right now, so woods, but my niggas don't be smoking like tobacco like that. All my niggas don't be smoking tobacco like that. They be dabbing and shit, hella little wax and shit, so.
For sure, yeah, them dabs.
My mama.
Ain't no joke for real. I ain't keep it real.
That shit bust your chest up.
Yeah. So like, man, in 2020, man, you dropped, you feel me, Funk Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You feel me? Then you turned around and dropped the, like you said, the 2-headed goat.
Yeah.
So, like, dropping projects in a 2-year span like that, like, how would you say, like, your work ethic is? Like, you feel me?
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't used to dropping projects. Like, me and my nigga Big 3-5, we would just fuck around and go to the studio, record some shit, and be like, that shit slap. We'd both say that shit slap. I'm dropping that motherfucker on my SoundCloud the same night. I'm gonna make a little quick little cover, and I'm gonna drop that motherfucker. I wasn't used to making songs dedicated to one project. We would go in that motherfucker drunk. That's what I'm telling you. We used to get drunk hella much, or we used to smoke hella much before we go in that motherfucker, and we would just record whatever.
Just keep it going.
Yeah, whatever.
Man,
Just to say that, nigga, we still working, though. Like, nigga, just to say that we still in the studio. We would go in that motherfucking record anything sometime.
For sure. All right, man, I got about a few more questions for you before I get up out of here, man. So, like, now, man, like, your future, as far as your career, man, where you see yourself in the next 5 years? You see yourself acting or, like...
No, for sure. I feel like I need to be acting, nigga, this year or next year,
for
nigga,
sure,
on the
man.
real. Cause,
I can
nigga,
see you in a movie
I got a lot
too,
of skills that need to be utilized.
We need
for
more
real.
Bay Area movies,
No,
too,
for sure.
man.
I got a lot of skills that need to be utilized.
You know, we
For
grew
real,
up on
some
a lot
type of
East Coast
Netflix
type
Hulu,
movies.
some type of something real quick, you know.
We need classic, man.
Yeah.
We need another classic,
They got all the New York classics. They got
For
the
sure,
LA
for
classics. We got to get that Oakland classic movie. You feel me?
For sure, man. So, like, what's next? Any shows? Any, you know, any big little, you know?
Yeah, we got a show coming up this month. We doing with DB by the Bag. I don't know the specific date, but I know that motherfucker coming up.
For sure. So, like, getting ready for a show, man, like, how do you prepare?
Shit, I just don't be trying to think much of it, because that's when the nigga get to, you feel me, doing too much up there, or that's when the nigga get to feeling himself extra too hard.
Yeah.
They just be trying to think like this shit just another day at the office, for real.
For sure. That's what's up, man. I ain't gonna lie. Performing, man, that's like...
No, for sure, that's a
It's
different
like,
type of stamina, though. A nigga might think,
It's
oh, just
different
because you know how to rap, you
yeah.
know how to perform. Hell no. You will
gotta
get up
have
there
that-
and pass out.
Yeah,
Nigga
you
gotta
gotta
work
know
on
the
his breathing
words.
and all that shit.
Facts. So, like, what would you say is your favorite part about doing the music? Like, is it performing? Is it making the music?
I like when a motherfucker be like, bruh, I felt that shit exactly. Or when they tell me some shit, like, when you said, bruh, like, you know, when the motherfucker can relate to your shit. It be hard, because I don't be feeling like I can relate to a lot of people.
sure.
So when the motherfucker say, hey, bruh, I felt that, you feel me?
Facts. I ain't gonna lie. That's real. So, man, anybody or any little project, you feel me, any shows you want to shout out before we get up out of here, man?
I got some shit coming called the 11th Hokage. You feel me? Village hitting in 13th.
Okay.
So we gonna fuck around. We gonna drop a couple more projects, couple videos. We just gonna keep this shit lit, keep the ball rolling. You feel me?
For sure, man. Can't wait to see it, man. New visuals, all the shit, man. Can we see you, feel me, on another, like, cypher or anything,
for sure,
too?
yeah. I'm supposed to be doing a cypher this year, me and Mitch, so keep that in store. You be on the lookout for that, too.
For sure, man.
My mama.
Oh, I got one more for y'all, man. What's y'all top 3 producers right now that y'all, you know, want to work with?
What, eventually? Shit, I don't really know a lot of producers right now. I be fucking with that nigga Mitch. That nigga produced most of my shit. That nigga Anti, Two Shot, produced by Junior. A couple motherfuckers, you think we be fucking around. Shout out Armani DePaul too.
For sure. Oh yeah, he a legend again,
Yeah.
man. He a legend again. For sure, man. It was a pleasure having you, man. You feel me? An honor, man. You feel me? Appreciate you coming through, man. Chopping it up with us.
Oh, mama.
You feel me? Anybody you want to shout out before you get up out of here?
Shit, they already know where I'm from and they know who my cousin is, so you feel me? We gonna keep it at that.
For sure, man. Hey, man, I'm your host, Dubb, son. You feel me? I'm with 1100 himself, man. And you sparking up with Vansnweed. Let's go, man.